Hey everybody, Patrick with Triptych Canine and of course Twix. Alright, break. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today is episode 22 of Triptych Canine's Tuesday Training Tips. And today we are going to be talking about speaking clearly. What I mean by this is when owners talk to each other or they talk to trainers, clear communication is necessary to understand precisely what is being talked about and within what context those things are being discussed. For example, I'm going to be using the terms positive and negative. Within the confines or the context of operant conditioning, positive and negative simply mean the addition of the plus sign, positive, or the removal of negative, minus sign, a stimulus. That's all it is. So the addition of leash pressure, the removal of leash pressure. So positive, negative. Within the context of stimulus, or stimuli, I guess, positive and negative have a different meaning. They mean an enjoyable or pleasurable stimulus, or an unpleasurable what's what I'm looking for. I blanked on it. Unpleasurable experience. Unenjoyable. Something that isn't enjoyable. So, for example, with these, a positive stimulus would be a treat. Something your dog likes and enjoys. An unpleasurable stimulus would be an e-collar correction, e-collar stim. Now if we're talking about experiences, a positive experience is something that the dog enjoys. Again, it's pretty much the same context as stimulus. But a positive experience is your dog being able to chase that squirrel that it really wants to chase. A negative experience would be chasing that squirrel and running headfirst into a tree. Something that's not very pleasurable. So in order to communicate clearly, you need to understand the context in which the terms positive and negative are being discussed. So, let's say positive punishment, the addition of a within operant conditioning, positive punishment, the addition of a stimulus to reduce a behavior. That stimulus, that positive, that addition of a stimulus is not going to be enjoyable. So, positive punishment deals with negative stimuli, and it's a negative experience. Let's say the addition of leash pressure. So positive punishment, adding leash pressure to stop the dog from pulling ahead. The addition of that leash pressure is not an enjoyable experience for the dog. The enjoyable experience is the relief, the removal of that leash pressure, which happens to be negative reinforcement. So you see how these can be confusing? The positive experience is attained through negative reinforcement. So again, let me get this clearly over to you. The negative reinforcement, the removal of leash pressure, becomes a positive experience for the dog. The positive punishment, the addition of leash pressure, becomes a negative experience for the dog. So you see how you have to speak clearly so you perfectly understand what is being discussed, because it can be very confusing. So again, positive and negative within the confines or the context of operant conditioning is simply the addition of positive or the removal of negative, a stimulus. When you're talking about a kind of stimulus, a positive stimulus is one that is enjoyable to the dog. A negative stimulus is one that is not enjoyable for the dog. And that is the same thing with an experience. A positive experience for your dog is something that it enjoys. a negative experience for your dog is something it does not enjoy. I hope this has been insightful and helpful, and I hope that I clearly communicated this. So I really hope this gives insight into making sure you know exactly what is being discussed, whether from a trainer or amongst other dog owners and things like that. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Get out there, train your dogs, and have some fun, because training never ends.